and senior management. So they're in senior management, but they kind of know exactly what's going on in the company, and they're responsible for feeding that information back. They're also responsible for taking the C-suite information, the vision, and pushing that down to by being very positive about the company, mid-level management, and the rest of the company. It's a challenging job because there are sensitivities on both issues. Sometimes staff don't want senior management knowing what's going on for various reasons, and certainly there are plans and strategies in place that are being worked on behind the scenes that they don't necessarily want the rest of the company knowing about. So this is a very challenging position, actually. But they have those relationships. They tend to be pragmatic. But this is going to be the most sales-oriented type person, within the C-suite, if you will. They're trying to build consensus, making sure that everything happens. So they want to make sure that the vision that's coming out of the senior management is getting distributed and executed throughout the lower levels of the company. And then if there are problems with that, they want to make sure that they're going back upstream as well. So feedback is very important. They have audiences that are both internal, which we've talked about, but then external as well. So they're going to be very concerned about what the customers or the consumers are saying, interested in, what they need to hear. Obviously, they have to know what the competitors are doing as well. This is kind of interesting. They can inadvertently foster leaks just because they are the gateway between middle management and senior management, and getting other people involved in doing certain things. They can sometimes be traced back to leaks within the organization. So that's, again, that's just another challenge that this individual may have. But again, you're going to see that there are inconsistencies here, and personality types and professional career goals, objectives that are in conflict with each other, between conservative roles and more ambitious goals, strategic goals. The VP of Investor Relations. This is the communicator for the CFO. So when the CFO doesn't want to put his or her name out there, or if they're trying to manage a lot of their time, it's going to be the VP of Investor Relations who steps in and develops the communications for the CFO, takes on certain calls or discussions with media to prep them for any communications they may have with the CFO. They can be protectionist of the company, obviously. This comes from the fact that they're highly regulated and overseen by the SEC. So their movements are highly scrutinized across the board, both internally and externally. So you have the inside management who's making sure that the VP of Investor Relations is managing a tight control on the communications flow, and then the SEC and other regulators are also doing the same. They're concerned, obviously, with shareholder value. They want to be as transparent as they can possibly be. As we've said, you can't go out and tell the whole story, but there has to be a fair level of transparency there. They're also concerned about peers. So they're going to be intimately aware of what the peer companies of the company are doing. Their audiences, understandably, going to be very Wall Street focused, the analysts, the investors, the shareholders, regulators, but then financial media. And they're going to deal a lot with that. Earnings announcements, and companies are obligated as a public company to disclose any type of material information, and that can be interpreted as anything. So, so they have to have very good relationships with the media as they articulate these messages and developments with the company. They have very highly defined responsibilities. As I mentioned, it's a very scrutinized role. They're going to be more focused on Wall Street than the general public, per se. questions or any thoughts, comments?